All right. Good day, family. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, we are in a high impact time in our city of Chicago. It is election season. Elections are taking place on February the 28th, 2023. And let me tell you, we have stopped nothing short of bringing you the best of candidates who chose to come and partner with Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard and our campaign known as Senior Votes Matter. Well, today we have someone who is no stranger to the community. Let me tell you, he has been very, very impactful in the Brownsville area. He is running for the fourth ward alderman position. And let me tell you, he deserves to win. He has been very putting himself out there for many, 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 many years. So he's not new to this opportunity. But before we go any further, we're going to introduce you to our guest. But everyone stay tuned. Senior Talk is live on Facebook. We're live on Senior Votes Matter on Facebook. We're live on Claire Hubbard on YouTube and any other marketing outlet. We'll share them with you later in our broadcast. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be right back after this opening. All right, family. As I mentioned, we are live. It is a beautiful day, and joining us today, I don't even know how to sum it up. He is a father, he's a philanthropist, he is an advocate for children, he's advocating education. Let me just get off the mic and let me introduce you to your fourth ward alderman candidate in Chicago, Mr. Matthew Khari Humphries. How are you today?
Woo! All right. It's great to be here. It's great to be here. I know we've worked together for many years, but to actually be here is pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah. We love you. We love you. Forward. So let's talk about this. Before we go into your candidacy, tell us about Khari Humphries and what you've been doing prior to taking this current opportunity.
Thank you. So as you say, my name is Matthew Khari Humphries. I'm a father of two amazing young boys, CPS students, a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. I am married to an amazing teacher of 20 years, CPS teacher. We're raising our kids here in the Grand Boulevard neighborhood. I've lived in the fourth ward over 30 years, moved back here in the 80s, moved here in the 80s after my family experienced a bout of homelessness. And then actually we lived with my grandmother and was fortunate enough to get some affordable housing, subsidized housing in the area, Section 8, and got an amazing education. I got my first job over in the fourth ward at a grocery store where I was doing some bagging, and went off to college. And this was a time when people were saying, don't live in the city. I came back and got involved in my community, did some about 25 years nonprofit work, working with young people, working in affordable housing. Spent 10 years coordinating senior services and senior supports and events and programs. I just recently left work in the city of Chicago. I was there as Senior Director of Education, Human Services, and Youth Policy. And so I am now, I left it there in October when my neighbors asked me to run for alderperson. Wow. And I'm here. I'm here to serve and to continue to serve my community and neighborhood.
So being a resident of your community, what really brought you to make this decision? I mean, you were already actively working in a phenomenal career, but what brought you to say, yes, I'm going to take the leap and put in my bid for alderman? What were the things that brought you to that decision?
Well, there's a few things, Clara. One, I would say this. I've been doing the work of an alderperson without having the role.
Right.
Because I worked in the community at Oakwood Shores, and even though I left there about 3 to 4 years ago, I still get calls from residents seeking services. I'm still coordinating, ensuring people have housing. I'm still working with families to make sure that young people are safe and they have great educational opportunities. So I continue to do that, and I would no matter what. But what really made me decide to jump in is the Fourth Ward has been home to a lot of amazing progressive families that take pride in their neighborhood and history and culture, but it's a place that's threatened. My wife and I, we moved into a house in Grand Boulevard 2 years ago. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Clara, if the interest rates weren't low because of COVID, and if we had waited 6 months later, we wouldn't be living in the ward. We wouldn't have been able
Mm.
to afford it. Also, as I've been talking to seniors in senior buildings, that they're not happy with the services they're getting from the property manager, and they don't feel like they have anyone to turn to support them and help them. So when my neighbors asked me to do it this time, I said, you know what, I have to do it
Yeah.
because we need this. We need it now. We need change. We don't need another politician. We don't need anybody here from special interest or a machine candidate that's just trying to get this position for the next role that they want. We need someone who really cares about the community, who's worked in the community, has a track record,
Hmm.
and and I think I'm the one out of all of the people in this race who has it.
Okay, you touched on something that I really want to know, because you have been in the senior buildings directly working, providing services. What is the relationship of the service coordinators? Because I think they have a big opportunity that they could really enhance the lives of the residents that they serve. So, do you know? Can you tell me what that role is of that service coordinator? Because I like you, I'm not in the buildings, but I can go. But some seniors just call me directly because they're having issues in their residence. So, how can we make this partnership a lot better, if you would?
I appreciate that, Clara. Service coordinator is an amazing role. As I mentioned, I've had over 10 years of experience managing service coordinators, and it's a crucial role that provides services, activities, and really just the support and care that the seniors need.
Right.
It's the it's what I want for my grandmother, and myself when I'm at that age. But I will say this, that many times service coordinators work for the property manager or are paid
Mhm.
from the property manager. So even though they can and should be an advocate for seniors, especially when they're not getting the services they need from the property manager, uh, their hands are kind of tied.
Mhm.
Uh, and so they need the alder person. They need someone outside of the company that is actually paying for the service coordinators to come in and say, look, this is not okay. You
Right.
should not have mice. You should not have issues of work orders not getting completed when you need it. Uh, Definitely advocating for uh, changing of rents and how quickly rents are changing. Because what I learned in my time is $10 can make a change of income or change of expenses by $10 to $15 can make all the difference in someone on a fixed incomes
Right.
life. We're
Sure.
talking about the difference between food or not. So, you need someone who's going to advocate, who's going to stop into the senior building and walk the building with those property managers, um, and really walk the building and talk to seniors and to the tenant associations, the resident associations, and the resident leaders and just the residents to see and hear what their needs are, not just giving them bingo games and trips, which definitely we got to do because we have to have fun. But also,
Right.
everyone needs to know that they have someone who has their back and is going to take care of them and is going to hold these property managers accountable.
So let me ask you this. Um, what were the things that your community told you that allowed you to say, yeah, I'm going to run? What were those issues that brought you to say, I'm going to be a candidate for the fourth ward, Chicago?
So one was affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
People said we really want to see affordable home ownership. We really want to see affordable rental, not rental that keeps going up. So even though it's affordable at the time, it changes. Um, they want to see also people, as I mentioned, senior buildings told me they wanted to see conditions in their buildings improve,
Yes.
which is which is why I'm strongly in support, along with Alderman Byron Sitchko Lopez and Alderman Jeanette Taylor of the Senior Bill of Rights for seniors developed by seniors in the 3rd and 4th Ward. Where they actually and I want to also hold property managers and CHA accountable for conditions in our senior buildings.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, I love it. So let's talk about the campaign trail. We're just a few short days until February 28th. What have those persons? I know I've been seeing you. You got on roller skates? Let me see, because you have been everywhere. So what has been the trail? What have people been telling you through this trail? Seeing a new face, new energy, but someone who they've known in the community for many years. What has the trail been like for you?
Well, I'll be honest, Clara. There are people who know me really well, right? And they when they call me that their needs will be met. They know I will connect with them and connect them with resources, and in many cases hold folks accountable. But the ward is big, and so there's a lot of people who don't know me, and
Okay.
and so in some cases they see me as a new face, because I've always been someone who has gotten things done in the background. So the campaign trail has been, I need more than roller skates. I need rocket boosters so I can let everyone know and who I am. And I'm a grassroots candidate. So the thing about campaigning that people don't always understand is that politicians, people that have support of other politicians that want to keep their people in and keep control of certain seats, they give them money, and that money translates into a party at this senior building, a pizza party here. It translates into putting folks on a bus to take them somewhere to kind of convince them to vote for you.
Yeah.
It takes them to mailing out a bunch of stuff to you. So you see their face and you think, oh, that's the person who's going to care and care about me and do something for me. But for me, I've been doing it, right? And so for me, it's how do I get out there to as many people as possible so that they know? Because here's the thing, and this is what I've been saying, Clara, that I've been doing a lot of speaking, public speaking while on this campaign trail, but the alder person is not a public speaker when they're doing their job. They're a public doer.
Say that again. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need someone in that seat who knows how to do the job because they've done it. Yes. You don't need someone who knows how to get up in front of you like a preacher, a pastor, make you feel good, because making you feel good isn't gonna get those people on the track to make sure that they're taking care of the building the way you need. They're not gonna get out there and stop folks from taking advantage and treating seniors without dignity and support, or they're gonna forget about you when it's not a campaign. So that's why I'm really here, trying to make sure that there's a champion out there who's going to make sure our elders are safe and being treated with dignity and respect.
Well, when you mention elders, I just get all in because that's my advocacy, just caring for our most or what we call the most vulnerable population. Mm-hmm. They're very vulnerable. But let's do this. As you know, I took the time to just do a little trail of my own of you in the community. Mm-hmm. Everyone, this is a video curated by Senior Talk and Senior Votes Matter. And this is Mr. Khari Humphries in the community. Everyone, stay tuned.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That's a small snippet of you in the community. But let me
Yeah.
tell you this, there was something that you did because I look and I always do my research when I can at best. There was a tell me about the event that you participated in for Dr. King this year.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us about that because I mean, your volunteerism is also broad. I mean, you have your own platform, but you also support other organizations, and I thought that was great. So tell us about that opportunity this past year in January.
oh, yeah. Thank you. So I'm a board member for an organization called Organic Oneness, and thank you, Clara, because you're right. So I, for 25 years professionally, I've worked in nonprofit and government. However, you know, of those 20, during all those 25 years, I've also been a volunteer, mentor in schools. I've been on LSCs. I've been on the police advisory council for 10 years. I've been on the Grand Boulevard Advisory Council, and I've been a board member for 20 years. I've been a board member for the Kenwood Oakland Community Organization. For the last 5 years, I've been a board member for Organic Oneness, Vandercook School of Music. So these are all volunteer things that I do because ultimately I want to make sure my neighborhood is the way my grandma left it to me, and better for my grandchildren and my children. So the event you're talking about on MLK Day. So 5 years ago, when I was working with the community builders, um, well, if I can go back even further than that, Clara. So I attended Providence St. Mel in Garfield Park back when Martin Luther King Day became a a federal holiday, and actually, I think CPS decided to let young people stay home during that time. My principal at the time, Paul Adams, who's now the president of Providence St. Mel, he didn't let us. He did not allow for that day to be a day off of school for Providence St. Mel back in I think it was 1988, 89, 89 or 90. And as you know, as a teenager, we were all angry, right? And I'm sitting here at 35th and Cottage Grove catching the bus all the way to the west side when my friends from CPS was at home on MLK Day. But this is what he said. He said that he marched with Dr. King, and Dr. King would not want young people out of school on his birthday. He would want them in school. So he kept us in school, and he still does this.
Mm-hmm.
And the first part of the day is as an assembly. And that kind of stuck with me all my life. I've done something on MLK Day. So 5 years ago, when one of my when a neighbor came to me and said, "Hey, I'm a civil engineer. I I want to close my firm to and send my engineers out to somewhere in Bronzeville to give back on King Day, but there's no Bronzeville King's Day of service. What can we do?" And I'm saying, look, man, I've been wanting to
Mm-hmm.
do something in Bronzeville. So we started the MLK Day of service and went into 6 schools at the time, a park district, and we were also in Oakwood Shores making blessing bags to give to the homeless. We were putting murals in schools, reorganizing libraries. We went into the senior building and brought young people to talk to seniors in the Oakwood Shore Senior Building to learn about history and and to learn from their elders. And that was 5 years ago. And this year, as you saw, probably there was over 500 people, both from Bronzeville and outside of Bronzeville, that came together for MLK Day um, because they want to give back. And that's what I believe. I believe when you activate neighbors, when you activate and support each other, um, then you'd be surprised at what will come from it. And so it was definitely my pleasure to see it. We put murals in 6 schools, Revis, Hills, and these are not just CPS schools, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Mollison, King. So it was just, and it was Bronzeville Classical. It was just an amazing, amazing, phenomenal time.
I'm excited. I think you hit the head because Dr. King was about service, and that is the way we should honor him. So I'm gonna take that footnote, to be of service and be of honor and honor him in that way, because that's all we have to do. That's what our life mission is, to be of service. So let's talk about the
So,
campaign.
so actually, now we on the radio. We're gonna get you next year, the 6th annual day of service. We're gonna have it. You're gonna have Clara and some of the seniors that listen come on out to the next year's MLK Day of Service in Bronzeville.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All
So
right.
let's do this. We're a few short days before the election. Once you are elected, what will the first 24 hours be for you? What is your plan of action?
So I'll tell you this. What I want to do when I start is I want to go to specifically after I want to go to see the buildings. So it'll start for me the first 60 days where I'll be going to meet with condo associations, going to meet with tenant associations, doing walkthroughs, official walkthroughs of subsidized senior buildings and senior living facilities in the ward. I also definitely will be meeting with heads of the department, streets and sand,
Mm,
sanitation, police commander. I want the CPS network chief, DFSS's coordinator for the King Center, who also manages all senior resources and investments in this area.
mm.
Uh, so I'll be doing that just to make sure that my finger is I know I'm right now my finger and hands on the pulse, but I want to ensure that I understand what's under the rug, right? What are we dealing with so that we can ensure that these next 4 years are one of progress, growth, and quality.
I'm loving it. I love to see what's under the rug. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. What will we find? What will we find?
What has been swept under the rug and hidden in the closet, right? We want
That's
to we
right.
want to open all that stuff out. Yep. Turn on the light.
Absolutely. So we are so um how do you talk to the person in the fourth ward who we've been with someone for so long? What is the new energy that you're planning to bring to this fourth ward? We got a lot of restaurants that are forthcoming, and we I almost call Bronzeville like a city in itself.
It is.
It's a lot to do. We can
Yep.
shop here. We can go to worship service. We got schools. New restaurants are coming, and all this great, you know, redevelopment. But what can we do on a safety matter? How do we address that? Because so many people say, "Well, I want to come to Chicago, but I'm scared." How do we help people to say that Chicago is a great place? Come to our communities, and we work, shop, and live here as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when you said we got things to do, I wonder as a person, remember when the Checkerboard Lounge was on 43rd and like is there still enough to do,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Um, and definitely for our seniors, right? So I'm excited because if you've seen the papers, uh, I'm a board member of the Kenwood Oakland Community Organization who has just secured through over $3 million grant to redevelop their first floor to be the Silver Fox senior kind of jazz club uh, event center. So they're going to have a senior service center that is like a cafe, jazz, and then services on the first floor.
What's the address? Where are we talking?
4242 South Cottage Grove. I'm excited about it. It's actually, and it was, again, there was a article in the paper probably about a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because they've been working on this and it's been senior led, right? So the same seniors who were part of, I mentioned earlier, they developed the Senior Bill of Rights
Yeah.
uh, from third and fourth ward, where the same seniors involved, Seniors for Justice, are the ones that are a part of really planning to convert the current office space now to a senior center and secured resources from the city. So really
Oh,
amazing.
definitely. We'll be
Yeah.
connecting on that for sure because that's
Yeah.
much needed. That's much needed, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we
As
are.
I think I should connect you with the executive director because he probably should come talk to your audience about that great, amazing asset that'll be coming. But
Yeah.
going back to your piece in relation to safety, one, I'll say this, right? We've lost 2,000 police officers in the last 4 years. And I know a lot of people think we need to police safety into our communities, but one, they're not going to come as quickly as people hope.
Yes.
And so we have to have really different. It's a complex issue, and we have to have some real serious strategy. So one, I believe that there's this piece called corridor ambassadors. One thing we learned at the senior building that I used to support a run in Oakwood Shores was we needed a concierge person at the front desk, right? So for some, they saw it as a security guard. For others, they just saw it as a person that was extra eyes to make sure people weren't coming in. Well, that doesn't have to be a police officer. That could be what I'm calling them as corridor ambassadors. I see them in other places. You can have them at places. You can have them at key locations like senior buildings. You can have them at key locations like business corridors, like Cottage Grove, 43rd, 47th, in the South Loop, Hyde Park. You see them when you go to places like University of Chicago. You see lots of people that are standing out with a vest. You see them at schools during safe passage. So it also develops jobs.
Yes, sir.
Right? And just in Oakland, the Oakland community and the Grand Boulevard community in the Fourth Ward are still amongst the top 10 communities in the city with the highest unemployment. And unemployment completely connects with crime, burglary, and theft. Right. So we have to get our residents working. And I'm going to tell you this, as a person who's my mother has retired 3 times. Because she is not sitting at home retired, right? She needs to have something to do. So I think our elders want to, in many cases, want to be involved either as in working or in service. And I know I've done that when I was at Oakwood Shores, where we got elders, AmeriCorps stipends,
yes,
to work, and there's a whole program, right? There's a whole senior serve program that we can do. So it's not just investment in young people, it's investment in any willing body in our community that wants to be of service and wants to be doing something or working. And so definitely I see all of that as being connected to safety, also cleanliness and connection. A lot of our residents in the Fourth Ward are disconnected to one another. They don't know their neighbors. They don't know the people that live in their neighborhood 2 blocks away. So it's easy for someone to be a victim of a crime if they're not connected to their community, and they don't have people looking out for them. So we've done something on my block where we've created a group chat. So if someone is coming home late and they want to get in the group chat to say, "Look out for me, I'm coming into my garage," they have extra eyes on them. If someone accidentally leaves their garage door open, or they see someone walking, they're talking to each other. That also is helpful because honestly, the response times for police in our area is the bottom 25% across the whole city.
Wow.
Meaning that when we call the police in our area, they get to us slower than 75% of the other neighborhoods and wards across the city. And that is unacceptable.
Yeah, it is.
That is a thing that I really want to dig into and see, well, why is that? What is it about the Fourth Ward that makes somehow our calls, we get response slower than others? And I got my suspicions, but I'm not going to say that on a radio show.
Yeah. But let me say this: we were at the Code Coalition this past weekend, and one of the things, we got this new position called this Police District Council. So they're going to have to they're going to have to be proactive with the aldermen and address the community. So this is one of the lead things. I mean, I know it personally, having read the newspaper and talked to even a sergeant who said, "Hey, sometimes we just understaffed." But I'm like, really? It's one thing being understaffed, but it's one just showing up for the call. I mean, but anyway, that's another subject. Yeah, let me not go too far on that. But I feel you, Khari, but I like the initiative of the community chat where we look out for each other. So one of the things people keep mentioning, well, one of the candidates I interviewed before, he mentioned the block club. Yeah. I'm like, what happened to the block club? Do we have them anymore?
We do. I mean, so let me tell you
this. It's quiet in some regards. And then I remember years ago when we had precinct captains. Do they still exist? Because I remember growing up in Roseland, 117th off of Michigan Avenue, and we had a precinct captain who would walk the blocks and say on election day, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Have you went to go? Have you went to vote?" And they encouraged the neighbors, come out the doors, go place your vote. And that was also an engagement of someone that would represent the issues of the community or the constituents to the officers and to the aldermen. So are those positions existing anymore? Do you know? I mean, you're pretty knowledgeable. Let me ask you, do they still exist?
So for Block Club, let me tell you this, and I don't know if I mentioned, but for the last 10 years, I've been on the Second District Police Advisory Council
All
because
right.
I've been like, how do we make this thing better? And
Yes,
one
sir.
of the things they said when I first joined, when I talked to folks from other districts, like what's different about other districts? What do they do? What are some of the best practices? One of the things they said was block clubs and neighborhood patrols.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the communities that have less instances of safety have neighborhood patrols and have active block clubs. So one thing I did when I was at Oakwood Shores, we started the Oakwood Shores Community Association, where we got people connected because block clubs are different when you're in buildings, right? They're not the same
Yes.
as if you're on a block with homes. And so you still need those associations. We call them vertical block clubs. Instead of having a block club, we need floor captains. Senior buildings know this really well. We
Yeah.
need a floor captain for each floor, checking on each other. And how do we get those floor captains and all together in that building, connected with other floor captains from other buildings? So we do. So we did. I've been the person on the committee that led the Bronzeville Block Club Summit, where we've come together for the last 3 years. Because you see two things. You got old school blocks that had a block club, and that one woman, Miss Jean, was the block club president, and she did it for 11, 15 years, and she either needed a break or she moved, she passed away, unfortunately, and no one took up the mantle,
Yeah.
right? So
Great
when I
statement. Yes, sir.
so when I moved onto my block, I had this phenomenal woman, Miss Lewis, who walked the block. Her aunt was her grandmother was that person, and
Mm-hmm.
then she bought her grandmother's house, and she says, "I want to do it." So I got right behind her. We got a block club. We've had trick or treat trails. Well, trick or treating. We took a trolley. This trick or treating, we had a trolley come to the block and take kids to a haunted house, come back. All of the houses were given candy. We've done block parties each year. But the bigger piece that I noticed is that we needed a block club. Other people who on other blocks either needed to connect with other neighbors that wanted to help them start a block club, or
Yes.
people new to the neighborhood and they wanted to be connected with neighbors that already have block clubs. And that's the job of an alder person, right? We should have. And I went to the alderman's office and said, "Hey, give me the list of the active block clubs." They didn't have it. I went to the police department, who actually they're the place that you register your block club.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the place on their website to register them, but when I asked the district, like, where's the list, they don't have it. Why? Because the system downtown isn't connected with the systems in the districts, so they can actively find out who has a registered block club. So we ended up having to do a block club summit 3 years ago, so we can just do a call out to people. Come on, let's see who you are. Found out we had 39 block clubs in the Brownsville area. We had about 150 people either interested in being on a block club or in block clubs. So we brought them together. There was actually a block club manual that the police created back in back in the late 90s, and it hadn't been updated since then. So all of the numbers and the things to do was so outdated. So last year we had to update that. The committee that I led, we updated that block club manual. So now we got a block club manual that has the numbers, who to call to shut down your street, who to call to get the light fixed, who to call to get your block clean before your block club party.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
I know how to do the work. I've been doing the work, and
Yes,
I'll
you
keep
do.
doing it.
I'm taking some notes here. I'll tell you, we're going to follow up. Well, I'm excited for you, and the fourth ward should be as excited. Now, we do want to mention those who are tuning in. This will also play on some other networks. Elect Khari Humphries.com. You can also go to Senior Talk or go to clarahubbard.org, click voting, and you see all of his information. So I have to ask you this. Over the years, there's always been, what would be your campaign song? Let's talk about something fun, and then we're going to wrap it up. What is your campaign theme song? Some people get ain't no stopping us and all that. What is your campaign theme song?
Oh my goodness, that's a good one. That's the first time I got that question.
It's Black History Month. I know you got some.
I think for me it'd be Lovely Day. Weather's just a lovely day. Because that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to, making sure that our ward and our city is better, and it's lovely for everyone, not just some.
That's beautiful. So what are your closing remarks? I mean, that might have been it. It was really fantastic. So, I mean, we got a few more days. You got fundraisers, where you're going to be. What can we tell our listening and viewing audience right now on how they can find you?
Well, they can find me if they go to Facebook and they look up. It's long, but on Facebook you got to look up Matthew Khari Humphries for 4th Ward Alderperson. But that's our Facebook page. You can go to my electkhariHumphries.com. You can go to that. I see it scrolling at the bottom. Thank you. That's our website. We're having, if you live anywhere on or near King Drive and 45th, there's a DST, which is the Delta Sigma Theta space. Mm-hmm. We're having a candidates forum this Saturday from 10 to 12.
Oh yeah.
I'll be a sip and savor on Saturday morning from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But I'll tell you what.
You buying coffee? You buying coffee?
Hey, I'll be buying coffee for the first 25 people.
And which location?
Sip and savor on 43rd.
All right.
Right
okay.
43rd in Forestville. Also, any senior building that wants me to come over, I'll come bring some donuts and chat with neighbors and let them know what's going on. I'll bring donuts and pizza and sit with residents so they can reach out to me. I even give my phone number, 773-209-1400. They can call and we can get something set up. Because what I really want to make sure that happens is I'm in front of as many people as possible.
Yes, sir.
Now in the 28th. The last place I would definitely say is that we need people, 4th Ward polling location. Early voting has started. Mm-hmm. So, people, they can come now from 9 to 6 at the King Center located on 43rd and Cottage Grove to vote 7 days a week. So definitely I'm up there, or one of the people that volunteer with my campaign is up there to give people more information. And lastly, my office is located at 1011 East 43rd Street. So that's 1011 East 43rd. So people can stop by there as well. So I'm trying to be as accessible as possible.
Right. So last question. I failed to ask, what is your coverage area? Because, this redistricting thing got me thrown off all the way. So I'm planning on a call with someone from the Board of Elections next week. We need to get this redistricted. So tell us, what is your coverage area in the 4th Ward?
So I'll start off by kind of saying the neighborhoods, and then I'll get a little bit more specific, right? So the northern end is Printers Row. It kind of skips what we think as the South Loop. So it kind of skips the area between Roosevelt and 26th, because that's the 3rd Ward. Then it picks back up after 26. So Mercy Hospital and south, you can come south all the way down along the lakefront to 53rd Street. 53rd Street is the border, so it includes Oakland, it includes Douglas Community, it includes parts of Grand Boulevard, it includes part of Kenwood, North Kenwood, it includes parts of the northern part of High Park, and again, Printers Row in the South Loop.
Wow. Well, let me say, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the opportunity to be a part of our program today, expressing your interest. You have a huge fan in me, because your advocacy is real. And, I'm like you. I don't want to meet about the next meeting. I mean, let's be clear. Let's keep moving. Let's put a plan of action. And so you have work that has been before you that you've made successful, and your efforts are not in vain. So I wish you all the best on the trail. February 28th is around the corner, but you're going to be momentous in what you're doing. And the community is very happy and they're very lucky to have you, someone that cares, because that doesn't happen often. And like you said,
Mm.
you're not a politician, but you're a doer. Is that what's the term you use? I love that real smooth line.
No, I appreciate it. So I'm not a politician, I'm a public servant. And you need, when you elect your alder person, you need to elect a public doer, not
There
a
we go.
public speaker.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much, Khari, for your time today and being on our program. Everyone, again, elect Khari Humphries. Khari is spelled Khari Humphries. You all know how to spell Humphries. So anyway, .com is the website. He's also on clarahubbard.org/voting. You'll see his information. This will replay on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's going all over the world. But for more information, give them your office or your phone number once again, please.
And before I do that, Clara, I cannot get off of here without acknowledging what an amazing resource you've been for so many years for seniors. I met you, when we were over, I was working with seniors over at Oakwood Shores, and you were a resource then, and you've remained a resource. And so I just appreciate you so much, your work, seeing you on the streets, like in Bronzeville Summer Nights. You are out. You say you see me in the streets. You see, because I see you out here working for these seniors, and they have to know that when you're not on this broadcast, you are out there fighting, advocating for them, and they got a champion in you. And I just appreciate you, and all your work. And thank you for being here. But people, if they want to reach me and connect with me, I am at the address is 1011 East 43rd Street, a few doors down from Norman's Bistro.
Mm-hmm.
My phone, like I said, my phone number is 773-209-1400. And then also you can go to the website at electkhariHumphries.com or KhariHumphries.com and go to the same website.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook, you can look for Matthew Khari Humphries for Fourth Ward Alderperson. So
you've done it well. Well, as we say, it's time to be about the business of serious business, and that's why you're in the business of serving, and your community is very lucky to have you. And thank you for your comments, and I look forward to partnering with you. We both have a passion of serving, so we need to get a few more like us together and we can make a difference.
That's right.
All right. So thank you again, everyone. Remember, the website is electkhariHumphries.com. You can also go to his campaign office at 1011 East 43rd Street, or give them a call at 773-209-1400. Well, it's been a fruitful show and a very wealthy show. And we want to always let you know that in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I've been Clara Hubbard, your granddaughter in the community, and your host for today. Our special guest was Khari Humphries for Fourth Ward Alderperson. And we will see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard.